Hey everyone, welcome to episode 15 of season 1 of Where's That Bark Heart? I'm one of your hosts, Nick Dury, alongside
Daryl Purvis.
And I'm Monty Scott.
And our very, very special co-host, episode 10's Miss Gina Louise Phillips is here.
Hey, thanks for having me again, guys. It's gonna be fun.
Sorry to introduce you. I should have let you introduce yourself, Gina.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, take 7.
No, we're so excited to have Gina join us. She's going to be a special guest host on a few episodes here. That we had so much fun with her last time that we thought, what the hell, let's just invite her on. Also, secretly, I needed someone else who plays in a bucket hat to help the bullying that's happened, to even it out a little bit. These two guys have been on my case about bucket hats pretty heavily recently, and Gina just recently posted playing golf in a bucket hat. So that's the reason I'm wearing a bucket hat, Daryl.
Yeah,
Well, we're just gonna bully the two of you.
the bucket hat crew.
Yeah. The buckets.
Yeah, we're a gang now, so you watch out.
A gang of 2. I still think Scarborough Monty can take the 2 of you by himself.
You're not wrong.
Well, I tell you what, I would be baffled if I got thrown in a lake by a couple of people with bucket hats at any point. This went south. I knew this was how it was going to end.
Gina, is it douchey to wear a bucket hat as a guy?
Oh, not at all. No way.
See? Thank you.
Okay,
You
but
know what's weird? Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
Gina. I see people wearing bucket hats around the city now.
Yeah,
Bucket hats are in, even for non-golfers.
this is what my point was going to be, but was like, it is trendy right now to wear a bucket hat. It's kind of part of, the everyday outfit for people. So it's kind of amazing because I think that they block the sun better than any other hat.
Completely.
Monty and I are going to start golfing full goth. Just full black long jackets.
Oh, just like suicide bangs, just like gel them right here.
Yeah, I'll go full.
Consider it. I think that would suit you, Monty.
I think I did an episode goth. My hair was forward at least. I didn't have a lot of black on, but
You are wearing black now, though.
Yeah, you are.
Is it? All right. Well, I'm listening to the Smiths. Is that goth?
It's alternative.
Yeah.
It's like
It'll take some explanation for me to even figure out what goth is. It's going to take a while.
I feel like there's got to be another name for it now. I don't think the kids would say goth, but it would be like, or emo.
Emo.
No,
Yeah.
I think it'd be something else. I can't place it. I'll think of it.
That's why we have you here. You're the youngster. We need to
Am I?
hip it up.
I don't think I'm that young.
You're younger than
I'm in
us.
30s now.
You're
So.
mid 30s?
Oh, what that
Jesus.
must be like.
My God.
Oh
Wait,
my
how old are you
God.
guys?
74.
He looks great.
Wow.
I
Younger
just
than I
turned
thought.
33, and I'm
He looks
excited about
terrible.
it.
That's what Scarborough does to you.
Yeah, 33 is. I've been in the sun the whole time.
Okay, but legit about the baseball hat when you play golf, do you guys not feel like it blocks your peripheral vision? Is that just me?
I grew up wearing baseball hats, so maybe I'm used to it.
Oh,
I don't think peripheral from my perspective. Maybe sometimes like going forward,
yeah, like it makes me feel like I'm like in a little, like I have horse blinders on. Maybe I have it pulled down too far. But like a bucket hat sits nice on the head and you don't feel it. It's just amazing.
I was super self-conscious to try it the first time because I grew up wearing baseball hats too. And then when I put it on, I was like, this is the most comfortable thing I've ever been in. It doesn't blow off in the wind. It blocks out all the sun. Like I don't have to worry about my neck getting burnt. It's amazing. It actually is practical. It's not for fucking fashion reasons, Daryl.
But it could be because it's fashionable. This is what we're talking about. It's amazing.
You know what? I trust Gina. I'm getting myself a bucket hat tomorrow.
Yes. You guys should get branded. Where's that bark heart? Yeah.
It's been in discussion.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get a bucket hat, but I'm going to put fishing lures on my baseball cap. If that makes you guys feel more comfortable.
Doesn't make me feel comfortable at all.
Oh, that felt bad.
No.
Okay, well, hey, just throwing it out there.
Gina, well, before we get into this week's episode, we've got a wonderful guest. But Gina, how has your golf game been going? We've seen you posting a lot on the golf course. What's happening? What's the state of your game since we last talked?
Well, I've been in the Columbia Valley quite a bit. So it's sort of southern interior BC. We've got a little cabin out there in Windermere Valley. So we've been playing these small little cute mountain courses, not the big ones. Like I still want to play Grey Wolf this year. I played it last year. That's in Panorama and it was amazing. But these ones, smaller courses, easy to get on, easy to get a time, but it was scorching hot, like 32 degrees. So we just played like 9 holes here and there because truly 18 holes, even with the bucket hat, it was too much. Like one person will get heat stroke and we're like, I guess we're wrapping up. My game, pretty inconsistent. I'm a little disappointed. Like I was sort of all over the map. My aim has gotten worse somehow. And aim is something that I haven't actually struggled with much. Even when I was like horrible at hitting the ball, my aim was pretty good. And now I'm better at like hitting the ball cleanly, but way worse with my aim. So as always, it's a journey, right?
It's probably a bucket hat issue. Just backtrack. When you said we have a cabin, do you mean the podcast has a cabin out there? Because that would be great.
Sounds lovely.
Yeah.
I got us a cabin.
Wow.
It's called Where's That Bar Cabin? Fantastic. It's just one big fridge. You just walk in.
Oh, sounds actually pretty nice in the summer.
Nice and cold.
Today's guest is a very funny comedian from Alberta. A lot of Albertans on this show today.
Yeah.
We also had a regular player, regularly plays with Paul Meyerhog, friend of the show.
Yep.
Kevin Stobo, friend of the show.
Yeah.
And by their accounts, might be the best of the three of them.
Oh.
Do you guys not listen to the podcast whenever we have guests on here?
I listen every time I edit every episode, Daryl. Yeah, I do.
Oh, is that why our downloads are so low? Because you're
Oh,
not
it's on
bothering you?
yeah, my shoulders now. Yeah, my shoulders. Good.
Anyway,
Yeah.
today's guest, a very funny comedian, Sean Lecomber.
Hey,
There we go.
are we doing a clap or is
Oh yeah, really bringing something new to the show. We never used to clap
Unmuted.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
guys, I'm bringing
Welcome,
big changes.
Sean.
Get
What
ready.
episode? What episode is this?
Number 15.
Number
All
15.
right. Okay. Not bad.
You might have got the first golf clap. We're
Yeah.
finally golf clapping.
I've tried to do it before, but no one's gone along with me. And now we have a new host, and everybody just goes along with whatever she does, and it's a little annoying.
I think the live golf clap. There's a live golf clap now, and it's faster. It's cool.
Expensive though. It's
It's
expensive.
this super hip, expensive, faster clap.
As long as no one loses a head, that's all that matters. Too
Yeah.
far, too far.
It's
Well,
not
I mean, I don't know. That was too far.
okay, Monty's putting it out there. Too far.
Yeah. I think we all agree. Yeah.
Have you met everybody here, Sean?
I've not
Uh,
met. Hey, Sean, I'm Nick. How's it going?
Hi, Nick. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I've met Daryl. We've worked. Hi, nice to meet you.
Sean, good to meet you. Well, I don't know. Did we meet one time at a show? I thought maybe at sometime in the
We
West.
we probably did.
Like bumped
we
into
probably-
each other. I had a feeling
Probably-
somewhere.
Probably a light penis brush on the way through.
Yeah. Yeah. Any
How-
more than that, we would have remembered.
How would you respond, Sean, to those claims that out of Stobo and Meyerhog that you're one of the better golfers?
I'm the kind of golfer who's like always either like, oh, this tip is working, this hot YouTube tip is working, or that hot YouTube tip stopped working and now I'm garbage. So I'm always like, there's always like, right now I'm pretty good because I'm serving the tray. Like I used to be really laid off at the top. And now I'm like trying to have, so that's working right now, but it's about 2 weeks and that'll be gone. There's nothing's ever permanent. Nothing's ever like, I think I have it figured out. I never have it figured out.
That's the hot new YouTube tip. Serve the tray.
It's sort of just having that hand facing the sky so that your club face is staying online longer. So yeah, it's just sort of like when you're at the top of your backswing, you want to have that sort of your right hand sort of facing the sky, and then that puts your club face in a more consistent position as you come down.
I'm gonna have to
And it
start doing
feels-
some stretching exercises if I
And
want to
it,
do
felt,
this.
it
This
feels
is
like it feels really foreign at first. Like it feels like you're not swinging properly, but you know, it's working right now. And it's sort of like what Dustin Johnson and those guys do. Like they look at it as more like the knuckles on the knuckles facing up or whatever. I don't know, whatever. It sucks. I suck.
I tell you one thing, Sean, there is a guarantee I'm going to be yelling, "I'm not serving the tray" at a golf course at some point.
Well, like there was this guy, I can't remember, I was golfing with him, but he's like, if you're playing with somebody who's playing really well and you want to fuck them up, the best thing to say is, I love what you're doing at the top of your backswing.
Nick's gonna edit that out because
Yeah.
his
yeah.
cousin is a trash talker and it throws Nick off all the time, and they have a
Yeah.
big match coming up.
Yeah.
So you just served him that on a tray, we might
On a
say.
tray.
Yeah.
On a
We-
tray. Yeah.
Yeah, we played in a tournament last year and we got paired together and he started talking shit on the range. So about an
Oh.
hour before we teed off.
I
And
hate
he
that.
was chirping at me the whole day and I was actually playing great. And he was still chirping at me. I was playing great for like 6 holes. And then he stopped chirping and he came up and he like authentically was like, "Look, man, I know I've been chirping, like, you know, I'll stop. But it's like the one thing I do notice is you need you need 10% more effort. Like you're taking it a little too easy. Just honestly, 10% and you're gonna hit the ball great." And I went completely in the toilet for the remaining 12
Yeah.
holes or whatever it was.
Because that's
I played
always
like
good advice.
shit.
You should swing. Yeah, you should swing harder.
Yeah,
Like we
exactly.
don't in our group of friends, there's no ball busting because we all know how emotionally weak we are. So like if one of us says like there's no way you're gonna hit this on the fairway, there is no way they're gonna hit it on the fairway. Like it's just no. So yeah, we usually leave each other alone. Like it'll be, you know, if somebody's playing bad, you don't say a word. Like
Yeah,
you
of
just,
course.
you know, you just sort of like pretend it never happened. But yeah, I can't even imagine playing with ball busters. Like it would drive me insane.
Yeah, same. Sean, have you heard of this figure 8 swing? Have you seen that?
That's sort of the witch's brew.
Yeah,
I guess, right? Where toil and trouble and then bring it
Right.
back. Yeah, I've heard of that where you kind of like go
and
forward
then you come around and down, and that it
Yeah.
kind of just gets you, I don't know, gets
Yeah,
your
well,
back
there's-
swing further back. I guess
There's
serving
also
the
like
tray.
the cross-handed one now that a couple of people are doing, like full cross-hand. Have you
Oh.
seen that? Where like, because Matt Fitzpatrick does that, where he played cross-hand, like short.
Chipping, right? Yeah.
But there's like a college player and there's a Canadian guy who plays on the Canadian tour, and they do like full. And if you try it, it feels like you're always in the right. The downswing feels weird, but like the backswing, it feels like, oh, that's easy. Like I'm in the right position, but nothing works. Nothing actually works. You actually just have to be good. Like, you know.
You don't
You have
need
to
to
be
play with
born
ball
good.
busters. You're pretty good at it yourself. To yourself.
Oh yeah, no, we are like, yeah, that's all we do. Like, great shot, you fucking moron. Like, you know, like, to ourselves.
But honestly, Sean, like how good are we talking? Like what, like at your best, what are you shooting?
I think not good. Like 85. That's you like 85 to 95, somewhere in there.
Great.
I'd take that.
Somewhere in that range. But yeah, like, and then if it's a bad day, it's I'm a really bad sport. So I'm not the kind of person who can be like, oh, it doesn't matter, I'm here with friends, you know. Like I don't fucking care who's there. If I'm playing bad, it's just a horrible day. Like,
So not really a social sport for you.
no, like unless I'm playing good, and then it's super social. Then it's like, hey, everybody,
Wow.
life good, and you know, God, this is good. None of us have diseases. We're out here, undiagnosed diseases. So you know,
Sure.
anything pre-diagnosis is fun.
And
but yeah,
did you start as a kid? Did you start as an adult? When did you start playing?
yeah, I started playing with my dad, but he was like, he's a rage golfer.
Oh.
Like he would, like if a ball came at us, he would hit it back to them. That's the person I learned golf etiquette from. It's like if a ball came into our group, he would hit a 3-wood back to the tee box at their heads.
This is the 15th episode. Might be the 13th person to tell us they play golf with someone who does that or have done that. It's a pretty
Yeah.
common thing, I think, on golf courses. More common than you would think.
I don't know what it is, but yeah, there's people that just like get enraged. It's like well, it's like anything. They take their rage to the golf course. They need a reason to vent or whatever. Yeah, but there was one old dude in front of us one time. They were in a foursome and he wouldn't let us play through. We were a twosome and there was a twosome behind us. And so it was an 80-year-old man and then his 3 kids, and the 3 kids wanted us to play through. They're like, come on. But then the old man was like, he knew that we were supposed to join up with the twosome behind us. So he was like, no, they don't play, like he's like, they don't play through us. They join the twosome behind. And then eventually his kids let us play through and they blamed it on dementia. They're like, my dad, he's losing it. And we were like, it's okay. I mean, Alzheimer's is a horrible disease and we hope they find a cure. And anyway, here we're gonna, but I don't like playing through anybody. I've never like enjoyed playing through because I've never played well through. It's always an automatic 7.
Yeah.
The playthrough par 4, I might as well write down a 7 and just go to the next tee box because you're trying to prove that you're good. Like, oh, I'm worthy of, look at me, I'm so worthy of playing through. Never turned it.
When I was recently golfing in Windermere Valley, it was this course called Spur Valley, and it's really pretty. It's small, but for whatever reason, like everyone was just sort of stuck at the 4th hole, and like no one could. Like it, I think there were 2 groups when we drove up to the 4th tee box, and we were like, "This is terrible." And we looked behind us; no one was behind us. So we went back and just started again. We just played the first 4 holes again. And it was like the best thing ever. It was so much fun to just redo those holes right away. Then we took our best score from those holes. Like obviously not like the most traditional way to play, but it was so enjoyable just to like give up, like not fight the fact that, there are slow golfers ahead of us because we're not fast. And then just to go back to the start. Very enjoyable.
I just don't like the people that blame you. Like there's a group ahead of you that's slowing you down, and then that group leaves by the time the group behind you gets to the tee box, and they think you're slow. And it's like, no, it's not us. Like they just. I never understood people that come to the golf course and you're like, hey, how's it going, guys? And they're like, are you not here for fun? This was $80. Like you're not here professionally. Like relax.
But it's big time yelling at traffic, like yelling at the guy ahead of you. I'm like, it's a whole thing.
There's a guy ahead of me, that, right? Yeah, like, there's a vehicle ahead of me.
Yeah, it's a whole thing going on here.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot more people than you, but they're usually enraged at home, right? Those guys are filled with rage at home, and their wives are quite happy that they've left and they're taking it out on somebody else for 5 hours.
Now, when you're playing with other comedians, are you competitive with them? Do you want to beat them? Like someone like Paul, we know Paul's a good player. I've not played with Paul, but we know that he was great when he was younger and he can still shoot quite low. Are you competitive against Paul, or are you just trying to play your best?
I'm only competitive when somebody says is like, oh, all I got to do is beat Lecomber. You know what I mean? Like if somebody says, oh, he's no good anyway, then I'm like, are you like what? I spend the whole time talking about how much I suck, and then if somebody else says I suck, I'm like, are you fucking like, you think I suck? Yeah, so I'll get my backup if somebody says the thing I've been saying all day for some reason.
So wait, you play with people that will say, I just have to beat Lecomber. I would never say I just have to beat Monty.
Well, I was like, I was in like a men's night for a few years, like locally, which is always weird, like it's always weird playing a men's night because it's like, you get dinner, but it's on tiny plates, and you can't get a second plate. So it's like I get a piece of corn and some roast and like little potatoes. Like the men's night I played in, they just had fucking saucer plates. Like, go ahead and have what you need, fellas. There's a tiny saucer plate. And then you got to hang out with people you don't like for 2 hours post-mortem. But like but those guys would be like, oh, you suck. Like, all I have to do is beat you. Because my men's night group were all delusional. So they all had their handicap set low. Like they were the opposite of, I don't know what the opposite of sandbagger is, but like dreamers. People that shoot 95, but they say they're an 8 handicap. They just live with their dream handicap, and we would lose every day. So they knew we sucked.
That's such a bizarre choice.
Yeah.
To just be like, I'm going to set myself at this standard. It's going to be really hard, and it's going to make the whole experience worse.
Yeah,
because nobody bragging. It's all about bragging rights, sort of.
Yeah.
And nobody stops you. Like that's a lie they love. Like, you're an 8 handicap? Okay, kiddo. Like, let's go.
And then you have to play against real 8 handicaps.
Yeah.
And I made the mistake of like, I didn't have a handicap because I was new, and they're like, I don't know what his handicap is. He sucks. And then I played with the guy who runs the men's night, and it was like the best 9 holes I've ever played. It was like I shot par, and he's like, you're not an 18 handicap. And then he set me to like 10, but I'm not really that either. So we lost the whole year and ate off our saucer plates and went home.
You're really focused on these saucer plates, aren't you?
Just pissed me off. I'm like, it's $2,000 a year, and the buffet is huge. It's a huge amount of food. And everybody had to eat off these tiny little, things you could put a teacup on.
Oh, see, that's frustrating because then there's that ridge in the center of the plate. And it throws off, the food gets stuck in there. It's like a bowl that isn't really a bowl. And it's, what is it really? It's
usually buffets, I'll, like do the old trick of just have your buns in your hand or whatever. Don't waste plate space on buns. But at those ones, it was like everything. Corn. I wasn't wasting plate space on corn. I was holding corn and buns and cake in my hands. And I would just have those on a napkin next to the plate.
Did you ever consider just bringing your own plate?
You're not allowed to. No, that was a there was a couple of guys that brought their own plates, and they're like, get that shit out of here. You can't bring your own plate to men's night.
Have you ever thought about a bindle? Like a
bindle?
Yeah,
That's
just
good.
hobo it a little bit. You know what I mean? It was like, listen, I just showed up with my hanky and my stick.
Yeah. You're like, look, I got to go on the road after this. Can I grab a couple extra steaks? No, you weren't allowed to do any of that stuff. But yeah, every town has a men's night with like a hierarchy of like superheroes, right? And there's usually like a realtor at the top with his own fancy cart. Usually like, the guy who runs Remax locally, who has his own red cart that looks like a Corvette, and he's like the king of fucking men's night.
Wow, this does not make me want to join a men's league at all.
I think ladies' night, it has to be different. It has to be better.
It's got to be. I mean, I'll let you know if I ever do it, but there's going to be other weird things with women's night. Like, for sure, we're not above doing weird things.
No,
I
that
used
would
to be a
more
bartender, so I was bartending men's night and women's night, and I'll say
Whoa.
women's night way more polite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody at women's night ever threw an ashtray at my head. I'll say that much.
Were they grabby? Did they get fun? Did they get happy hands with you?
I was behind the bar, so they'd have to reach pretty far over, but no, I don't think so.
That you can remember.
I was 1996, 97. It was a while ago, but I don't remember anybody touching me inappropriately.
Did anyone cup an ashtray to your ass or try something like that?
No, I cut a guy off and he took a big glass ashtray because there you could still smoke inside, and he threw it right at my head.
Jeez.
And it smashed a mirror behind me. Yeah.
Oh yeah, fuck, you could smoke in hospitals back then.
Yeah. The doctors smoked while they operated. True stories.
It was a gentleman's world. Just smoking and doing surgery. I'm like, yeah, of course.
Good old days.
Sean, how often are you getting out now that it's summer? And
Not very often, because I have a love-hate relationship with golf, where like if I play bad a few times, I'm like, I don't want that. I'm done with it. And then something will happen where I'm like, oh yeah, so and so's in town, I'll go golf, and then I'll play a little bit. But I don't know, I maybe get out this year maybe 6 times so far, not much. Like, do you guys play a lot?
I'd say Nick plays the most.
yeah, twice a week, generally speaking. I didn't. Yeah.
You'll be
Yeah.
excited to know though, Sean, we have a cabin now in just the BC interior. So if you want to come to the Where's That Bar Cart cabin.
You guys have your own cabin?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we just found
Yeah.
out.
Just announced. I gotta call my parents after this and
Yeah.
run it by them.
It'll be a long talk.
Yeah,
Well-
there are 3 men from Ontario I've never met.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Sean, when you come, please bring your own plate. Feel free to bring your own plate.
That's what I love about like our generation, is like it's like, hey, he's doing well, like his father passed, like, our wealth and experience just comes from like, the hard work of a generation before us.
It is so true.
It's like we're just waiting for somebody to pass, like, may they rest. But I get the cabin now, we're going to be golfing a lot. This is going to be good. There's a good side to this. He would want us to golf and stay at his cabin, and yeah,
Yeah, he would want to. He'd want to
You
have
would.
5 comedians just
Yeah,
run the place for a while. My granddad would love that.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna go
burning.
out and just say, I don't think we want any of Gina's family to pass. Can we just all agree on
Let's
that?
put that out there
Yes.
immediately. We don't.
Yeah.
They're all fine. They're healthy. May they live
Mission statement.
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thoughts and prayers.
If God forbid they were to pass, we'd all be there. 3 of us. I mean, just by the looks of the panel here, it looks like there's at least 3 Cpaps here, me included. We'll be burning the outlets out in that cabin in no time. You won't be able to plug in a hairdryer, nothing. Did you plug a CPAP into the back? Did you? What?
hold on. There's at least 2. Nick, do you have a CPAP?
I need one. I don't have one, but I desperately need one.
Well, I'm running 2 CPAPs actually. A tandem. Yeah.
You got a mask, a double
What's a
mask.
CPAP? I don't know what a CPAP is.
For snoring,
Put it like a mask they put
the
over.
machines that you wear to
Like a sleep
not-
apnea machine?
Sleep,
Yeah.
sleep.
Yeah, yeah.
It's for fat guys with small noses.
I like
Really
that you identified at least 2 fat guys with small noses on.
That's what my sister was like. It's just fat guys with small noses. That's all. Like, you know, she was explaining it to children. Like, why would you need a CPAP? Like, just obese men that have, you know, weirdly small noses. They
Well,
can't
that's what
stand the air.
that's what threw me off. I felt my nostrils alone should have been able to pull me through, but no.
I don't. You think like this is, and I mean, it's other people that tell you like, and then you go to like one of those sleep clinics and they're, you know, we've turned medicine into like everybody's incentivized for you to like, whether it's auditory or like CPAP, they're like, you got it bad. And where do I buy one? Right here, because we sell it. Like they all, you know, everybody's got sleep apnea now. If you go to a clinic, they're like, oh yeah, we all got it. You got it. Everybody's got it. Get a machine. We cover 5, you know, but I don't like wearing it. You know,
So-
you guys wear it every night?
Oh yeah. I cling to it. Like I worry about the apocalypse because I don't know what I'll do. How will I plug it in?
Yeah.
That's not the only worry you should have about the
If the grid goes down, how am I going to work this CPAP? Do I got to hook it up to a
Yeah.
generator?
Be honest, Monty, you have 2 55-inch TVs in that apartment. If the power is an issue, do you keep the TVs plugged in or the CPAP? Which is
Well, and we're comedians, so all of us have probably 2 friends that are into the one world government dark side who own 2 generators. So we could probably buy one of those off of one of our, like, you know, one of those, like, you know, well, I mean, I'm in Alberta, so I'm surrounded by people that know the truth.
You're surrounded by preppers.
I'm surrounded by people. That's what I love about like conspiracy theorists is they never, like, if you're just a smart person, you give credit to your source material. You're like, oh, I read that book and it's by this guy and you should read it. But like, that's how I know conspiracies are bullshit, because they're always, they give themselves the credit. They're like, I did the research. I did it. Like I navigated my way through that maze of lies.
Yeah.
And they never give credit to anybody else. They're never like, I read this book or I saw this thing. It's always them. It's always
As a reference, it's their own book repeatedly.
usually
book
they
you
think
just
they
read.
should write one.
so. Do you think
Yep.
CPAPs are just a conspiracy theory?
I think it is. I think it's Bill Gates pumping oxygen into my brain, trying to prep me for slavery. Like as if they're prepping us for slavery. They look at us and go, these guys would be terrible slaves.
No.
You know,
Would be
I don't-
funny slaves though, eh?
very funny slaves.
I don't even think so. I don't even think so. You think of how humorless we'd be if we were living in a camp situation
with small plates.
with tiny little plates,
They shorten up the plates on you.
just
The
day old
ultimate
borscht,
suffering.
day old borscht with no cream every night.
You know, I kind of went the opposite way with the CPAP. I never had one, but I probably needed one. And then I lost 50 pounds and I stopped snoring. And then my wife would just keep waking me up because I was so quiet that she
She
thought
thought
I
you were
was
dead.
dead. Yeah. So she'd just keep poking me. Yeah. So I had to put on 15 pounds so I could start snoring again just to keep her happy.
Yeah, and then you realize that your life insurance policy is framed in your wall. You know, why'd you take a picture of the kids down? It's not a life insurance policy for you. I want to make sure it's not damaged. I want to keep it looking like a fucking rookie card.
That'd be
And,
interesting if you got more because it was in perfect condition.
Yeah,
Whoa.
that would be great. Like
Laminated.
corners, it didn't turn yellow. I love it. You're gonna get 185 grand.
It's a multiplier.
Yeah, I couldn't get life insurance because of my history or whatever. Like, I don't have any diseases, but I tried to get life insurance and they're like, nah, just with the combination. Like, they just like, we're like, this, I don't know. It just doesn't, no, we're not going to give it to you.
What is the combination?
What?
Well, they just
I'm
like,
very
usually,
confused.
well, my doctor said usually they reject it and they'll be like blood work or what, but mine, they didn't have any concrete reason to deny me. So they were like, I don't like that. You know, they just didn't like my video submission or something. I don't know. Like I overshared on the call. That's the hard part, is like you're on the phone with somebody who's asking you these questions. And then I, you know, like as comedians, I guess, or people, we're just like conditioned to fill open spaces. So she would ask a question, I would answer it, and then she wouldn't speak. And then I would just start oversharing. Like, well, also I did have a twitch in my ankle. You know, I'm like telling her minor problems, you know. So it was a mistake. I fucked it all up big time. We're off track though. This is supposed to be about golf, I guess.
I was gonna say, what are the caliber of courses that you're playing out in Alberta, Sean? Are you going for great courses, not great courses, cheap courses?
There's one called the Ranch that's sort of like, you know, I think most golfers, they try to find like this middle point of like, this is challenging enough and it's cheap enough and this is my level. You know, I don't like to spend more than 80. I feel like if I spend more than 80, I'm like, oh God, like I just can't justify. I don't know what the cost is out sort of in Ontario, but out here it's sort of like, you know, I don't like to spend more than 75 or 80. But there's some real shitholes where it's like, you know, this is a no rain check situation, goat track. There's one called Fox Run, and it's got like 4 holes that you have to drive the ball through like uprights. And it's just, you know, but yeah, there's some little tricked out ones out here, but there's nothing great out here. Most Albertans will be like, I want to go to, you know, BC and play some golf for a week or whatever.
What's the best between the two of you? What is Banff Springs the best golf course?
No.
Kananaskis?
No, Banff Springs is,
I love.
Kananaskis is really good. Banff Springs is more just historical. Like it's sort of like, you know, it's over 100 years old and you can see the hotel. So it's kind of like the views are spectacular, but the course itself, you know, I mean, like it is just okay for like $110. Like if you're going to pay the money, you'd probably want to go to Kananaskis because it's, you know, really challenging and, you know, a beautiful course. But all your shots go farther in Kananaskis because you're, you know, elevated. So, so everything, and there's always like a stream running behind every green. So you have all this hope as you walk up to the green. You're like, I think I held that green, like I hit a great shot. And then it's always in this tiny stream where you can still see it. It's just an inch down and you're like, mother, you know. Yeah. And then I blame the wind the whole day. Just blame. I'm also like myself, Kevin and Paul, I would say are the ultimate as far as like, if we start playing bad, one will be like, you know, somebody, oh, this, you know, we start clutching a shoulder. Always like those guys where we're like, yeah, no, I got this pec that I didn't mention until I started playing bad. But we definitely start reaching for a body part if we start playing bad. And that's our excuse all day.
I once interviewed a guy that he golfed every golf course in Alberta, and it took him like over a decade to do it because he golfed like the tiniest, like the ones that aren't even on Google Maps, and he found them, he tracked them down, and it's crazy because he just had this like idea when he retired. He's like, this is what I'm going to do. And yeah, like there were some of the like, you know, you throw like a coin into a tin can and just like walk on, you know, a lot of that, or like a little trailer for a clubhouse. He had some crazy stories, but yeah, Alberta does have some real shitty golf courses.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, that would be a horrible thing to do with retirement. There's so many more terrible courses. Like, so you know, Innisfail is beautiful. Like if you ever come to Alberta, Innisfail is a beautiful course that's like not, you know, not pretentious. Golden, well, I guess Golden's BC, but yeah, Kananaskis.
Oh, we have a cabin near there.
Oh, is that where our cabin is? That where our CPAP generator?
That's where it is. It's not close to where it is. But nice.
Yeah, there's so many shitty golf courses that he would have had a horrible time, like going to like some Terra Pines and some of these like crappy ones that, you know, he would have been like going through all these courses that are in your student union ticket pack, like those little those giant coupon books and shit. Like,
He did a lot of the coupon books in each area. Yeah, it was cool though. He ended his whole journey. It was like, it took him 14 years or something. He ended it at Banff Springs. And then we like arranged with Banff Springs and they did like this big like congratulations thing. They had bagpipes on the last screen. Wow. They like gave him a certificate. It was kind of a cool thing to witness. But
now that I think about Banff Springs, I think some of it might have been like I was playing terrible and there was so many mosquitoes and we didn't have any spray, so we were just getting killed out there. And then after 13 holes, I reached into some pocket in my bag and I had some the whole time. Nobody was happy. They were enraged at me. Like nobody was like, oh, thank God we get to like play the last 5 holes in peace. They were like, like they were so, it took them like 3 days to get over how mad they were that I just had like a full can of off.
Mosquitoes are so distracting though when you're trying to play golf. Like I think they're the ultimate distraction. Brutal.
Yeah. Yeah, because they start following you everywhere. There's just a cloud over everybody's head, you know. Yeah, it's horrible.
Well, I think it's time for the par 5, Monty.
So you're telling me this is a par 5?
Perfect. That was great.
Yeah.
All right, Sean. Your favorite golf course, and I'll just amend the question. Either that you've played or ideally that you would like to play, and obviously like Augusta and Pebble aside, but your favorite golf course.
I think my favorite one is probably like Golden, BC. I don't know if you've played that one, but that one's pretty insane. There's like a stretch of holes where, you know, there's so much water rushing beside you that you can't even talk on the tee box. Like there's, you know, the waterfalls are, and you can see 5 holes in front of you because you're kind of going down the side of a mountain, so you can see like just, it's almost like mountain links golf. It's pretty spectacular. It's a pretty cool course. I liked it. And I think we were on a lot of drugs then too, so it was like seemed more fun, you know, like my grandfather or my father.
Sorry, what? Your grandfather's on a lot of drugs?
No, well, he died and we got his drugs is what the story is.
Life insurance.
Yeah, I opened him kind of, but more fun, you know, more fun than money. No, he was like, he had some oxycodone or something. So I ripped open that medicine chest and was doing, and I played the best golf of my life on it. It just slowed my swing. It just slowed my swing down just enough to make better contact.
Is this what we're talking about?
Yeah, that's the course. Yeah, it's really, really nice.
Wow, that looks beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. And like, everybody likes the sort of courses that are nice but not pretentious at all. So like this course, we were on the tee box and then we just heard a guy yell like, Rick, you left your Crocs in the clubhouse. Like, you know, nothing pretentious. They're like, Randy, you left your sandwich in here, get back in. They're just talking to each other like a bunch of country bumpkins. So
John, you left your CPAP on.
John, this mask is, well, I had my CPAP, I thought just fit, you know, forget it. I'm not going to tell more CPAP stories, but yeah, Golden. Yeah, I like Golden. I like Talking Rock.
Where's Talking Rock?
That one's in BC, like Chase, BC. There's Salmon Arm Golf and Country Club. You know, that's a beautiful, beautiful course. It's like over 100 years old and has weird patches of like light green grass. Like the grass is beautifully manicured, but it's like all different colors and stuff. It's pretty, yeah, there's a lot of beautiful courses there. That's where we usually go to play. If I go with Paul and Kevin or whatever, we'll go to somewhere in BC, somewhere in Salmon Arm but yeah, if you get a chance, those are the ones like Golden. And in Alberta, I would say Innisfail is my favorite one.
Paul's in BC now. Are you guys gonna connect?
We did already. Yeah, we already played. We played a bit in Calgary at a couple of courses, and but no, I don't think we're getting together. I think I'm going with some friends to Kelowna, and we're playing the like. Have you guys ever played in Kelowna, Vernon area? Yeah, like if you guys were ever planning
golf
like
first shows. I've done
like
shows
golf.
there.
Like if you guys were ever planning, if you're ever planning like a golf trip or whatever, that's awesome. Like going to Kelowna, Vernon, because there's so many Predator Ridge, and there's the Okanagan Golf and Country Club. There's like so many awesome courses there, and
Yeah,
you can get
it's
on.
really beautiful there.
Yeah, and you can get on pretty easy because it's like the locals are like, I don't have $100 a day to blow on this course.
Yeah, rural BC right around there. Like I did a whole tour of the Cranbrook courses, and that was really interesting. You do get a lot of people playing in flip-flops, like really just kind of low-key, unpretentious. And that is different than in Ontario, I find.
Is Ontario kind of like sort of hoity-toity?
Compared to Cranbrook,
I
yes.
think so.
Yeah.
Way less drug mules on the golf course in Ontario, I would say.
Yeah, that's the thing I like about golfers too, is like every group of friends has their own like little cheats. It's like, oh, we're not cheating, we just have this thing. Like, we just have these two things we do. It's like, yeah, but those are two cheating things. Like, no,
Right.
like
We have what we like to call a gentleman's gimme, which is about 5-6 feet.
Yeah, and I'm playing in a formal tournament this Saturday and Sunday, and I'm freaking the fuck out because I haven't made a 3-foot putt in a couple of years.
Yeah,
and
it just as the day goes on, it gets worse and worse because you start out being kind of selfish, where you're like, I'm not giving him that.
Yeah.
Nope, that's, hey, you rolled it 3 feet by, pal. Like, and then as soon as I need one, then I'm like, okay, reins are off. Everybody, that's a gimme. Everybody say, like, I'm usually really selfish. Look,
Everyone agrees.
Yeah.
As long as I'm making putts, I'm like, don't give them that. Mark it, make it. Mark that and make it. Be a man, mark it and make it. Mark it and then make it once I'm done putting out. But as soon as I need a favor, I'm like, everybody, round of guineas for the fellas. Nobody has to make a putt the rest of the day. We're all good. And then we all, say like, I shot an 88. Like, did you shoot an 88?
Right.
4 3-foot gimmies.
Okay. I don't have as much confidence putting wise, so I'd just be like, if people start giving, I'm like, listen, I'll play ball. We'll we can have 90-foot putts gimmies. I'm like, well, let's just
let's just get out of here.
I find if I'm playing well, it's kind of like what Monty said a few weeks ago. If you're playing well, there's no need to cheat. But if I'm playing well, I won't take gimmies. Like I want to putt them out and stuff because I want to know that if I shot a really good score, then
it's legit. Yeah.
Satisfying.
Anything for par, I'm like, anything for par or birdie, there shouldn't be a gimme. It's like, that's a birdie putt, it's a par putt. That's not a gimme. But if you don't want anybody to have a terrible time. So if it's like a putt for a 7, you're like, go ahead, pick that up. That's trash.
All right. Question number 2, Sean. You can put together your ideal foursome with the caveat no PGA, LPGA, or I guess live golfers, and anyone alive or dead. Who is rounding out your foursome?
I think it'd be kind of fun to do like Trump, Biden, Obama. I think that'd be fun. Just the last 3 presidents and just watch there be no fucking gimmies. Just 0 gimmies all day. And just like, who's shooting first? Like, it would just be fun to see 3 people who kind of hate each other out there with me. And then I can just get them talking about certain topics and stuff. I think that'd be fun.
Just wind them up. Yeah. Didn't someone else have Trump? I think Andrew Ryan had Trump.
Yeah. But
we've never had anything close to all 3 presidents.
I have a feeling Trump's, no matter what, he's taking his gimmies. You can say, you have to put that out. He's taking it anyway.
And rich people should not get credit for being good at golf. Like, oh, he's actually pretty good. Like, I don't give as soon as somebody makes over $250,000 a year, I don't care what they shoot. Because they have the time and the resources. They can buy a $1,500 shaft and a $1,200 club head for their driver. Like, I'm driving at 290. Like, yeah, of course, you're rich. Like, you've got the same set of clubs in 3 different cities. Like, I don't like playing with rich people either.
Oh, I'd bring a guy out with me that took all my shots.
Monty's really good. He shot a 64 today.
Monty was out there with his playing caddy, and it was pretty good. He gets his own yardages, and then he comes back and he hits it.
It's amazing to me that Trump even plays golf. Like, and I guess that speaks to like, well, how does he play it? Because he probably doesn't cheat all the time, but like, does he really have like the wherewithal to work at something and get good at it legitimately? I don't know. Like, he doesn't seem like he has it in him.
I saw someone tweeting today about that they played with him, and they said he was actually pretty good. He was better than you think he is. But everybody talks about how much he cheats, and the person never mentioned the cheating, right? So you
just
turn a blind eye, or
I guarantee you Trump plays best ball by himself all the time.
Yeah.
He's just like, he hit a few and he's like, I don't know, what do you even mean?
And we know Joe Biden cheats. That's how he won an election. He's going to do it golfing too, right?
Jesus,
So-
wow.
2020
Wow.
was stolen.
Imagine if Biden steals the golf game.
I just love that Trump is still talking about 2020. Like it's just the best. He'd be that's what I would get him rattled up about in our foursome. Just be talking about election, man. That was tight.
Yeah, Arizona. Eh? I don't know. That was
Anyway.
a little-
Anyway, go ahead and putt. Sorry to just go ahead and I would just say it right before they're about to shoot. Like,
That is so good. I'd be like, when I went to bed, you were leading.
yeah, why didn't they just stop counting the votes? Anyway, go ahead and put it out. Sorry
As
about
Monty sleeps on the fourth tee, as his player caddy continues on for him.
Player caddy carrying me around the course.
My hope is just to have a memorial bench with like a sad, like that. That's one thing I hate about golf. Why do so many people like, oh, put a memorial? Like, I don't need to be reminded of my own mortality every fucking hole.
I'd like to put
But in
one
Alberta-
like
In
way in
Alberta,
the
it's an
woods.
epidemic. Like Rita McLeod. This is Rita McLeod's bench. She loved golf and people and crafts. I'm like, I'm alive. Let me live. I don't need to fucking sit on a dead lady's bench and wait for this green to clear,
The ones I
don't-
really
I'm
don't
not
like,
gonna
Sean, are the ones where like they don't have it's not given to somebody yet. They're like, it could be you.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there, throwing in a little cash.
Anybody's heart can stop at any moment. Anyway, have a ball, you
Yeah.
guys.
This
I
could
don't
be your
think-
bench.
This could be yours. This is the 8th hole. This could be a big one. I don't, why do people do that? I don't get it.
So
All right. Question number 3. On a hot summer day, Sean, you could either be on opioids or not. What are you ordering from the bar cart?
I like to do a paralyzer because I like to make it a fucking science experiment. I like to make it like a dairy volcano.
A paralyzer?
I think
Yeah,
this is an
that's
Alberta
Alberta
thing.
thing.
This is
Yeah.
Alberta. My wife
Oh.
drinks them constant.
I've
She
never
loves
heard of them.
paralyzers.
You guys don't drink there's no paralyzers out there?
No,
No,
I've
my
heard of
wife's-
paralyzer.
My wife, you sort of almost know. Her sister-in-law knows your wife or something. I don't even
Okay.
understand. Jory, do you know Jory? We'll cut this part out.
Yeah,
Jory
yeah.
does-
We'll cut
Yeah.
this part.
Thanks, Daryl. Yeah,
But,
we'll cut this part
But
out.
it-
Nick?
for the sake of Jory.
Yeah, I mean, when
Oh,
Jory,
yeah,
Jory didn't want to be a part of this golf
She
club.
just-
We
she
asked her to
deserved
be
it.
on it, and she said
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, no, we got her memorial bench all set. But I don't know paralyzers is usually because then they hate it. They're like, yeah, fuck, I love experimenting with milk, because it has to be poured in a certain way. Like you have to put like I can't even remember if it's like Pepsi first or milk, but it curdles if you do it the wrong way.
Yeah.
So what is it, Gina? Do you know?
I think it's milk last. Like
Yeah, it's like Kahlua vodka, like Coke Zero and milk, and it's pretty good.
so you get this in like the hot sun on a
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh, yeah.
say.
Yes,
That is so
absolutely.
mental.
Yeah, no, I like to sweat milk. That's what I like to do.
Ugh.
I like to
I
sweat
bet it curdles
2% milk.
faster in the sun. I bet it's all lumpy.
You have to
Yeah,
drink
well,
it
and
before
the-
it curdles.
And the cart girls hate it. Not girl, like cart women or cart people,
People.
cart persons. They, and that's the other thing too. I never understood why we got caught up in. This is how you know men are dumb. Is like we always were like, let's get a bunch of beautiful women to serve us poorly. Instead of saying like, let's get a bunch of like 53-year-old Ukrainian women that just bust ass. Like we decided, no, make them beautiful and slow at stuff. I
They're
don't get
also
it,
like
but
18, so they
Yeah.
just don't
they're
give
kids,
a shit.
yeah. And it's also like there's so many creepy men, like I can't. I would never want my niece or my daughter or something working at a golf course. There's so many like,
Yeah.
it's just gross.
It's so gross. It's so gross.
So many losers and like hole and like they saying hole, there's 10 hole jokes a hole. Ugh, gross.
Well, once you
Yeah.
learn a good paralyzer, though, you can get into the classy spots. And
Yeah, but they don't like making it. Like get 5 paralyzers and then they're like, holy,
So the bar carts in Alberta are carrying milk.
I was just
They
gonna
have
say
to.
this.
legally required. You gotta have a little dairy on there.
Oh, this is Alberta farmers are demanding.
And a steak.
Yeah.
can always
Yeah.
get a
Yeah, yeah. You guys have defibrillators, and we restart hearts with milk and meat
Yeah.
you need a
Pan
lot of
fry a
iron.
steak.
on a saucer plate. Yeah, that's the drink, I think. What do you guys
Okay.
drink? Seltzers, White Claws?
God,
Yeah, sure, why not? Whatever's cold.
Yeah, whatever's easy.
we'll do that. You know, whatever I'm drinking now, I'm adding a little milk.
Just a
Orange
dash,
juice.
just a
Yeah.
taste, just a taste. Skim 1% too. It's up to you.
Hey, at
a
least
little
leave
milk.
me my choice of fatness of milk.
Yeah. You gotta have a little escape route, but yeah, no, you should add a little milk to everything. Even paralyzed Caesars, I guess. Do you guys Caesars? No.
Yeah, Caesar's on
See,
the golf
most of the
course,
bar
sure.
carts here, it's all in a can. So the Caesars are in a can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no can of Paralyzer apparently.
I didn't know paralyzers were like not a nationwide phenomenon. I didn't realize it was so regional.
No, I never heard of that before, and I drink almost everything.
You should try it. You should try it one night.
I
Just
will.
one night. Give it a try.
Sean, what's a prairie fire?
Oh,
I don't even know. Like I've never.
Prairie
even
Fire is
had it.
Tabasco and tequila, isn't it?
Is that what
Yeah.
I was trying to remember?
Yeah, it's gross. I think it's like it's a joke shot. Everybody's at the
Right.
bar and it's like
Yeah.
let's get something gross.
I had a buddy in university who liked them, and we
Mhm.
never heard of them. And one night we're going to the bar, and he's like, "Okay, when we get in there, everybody order 5 Prairie Fires." And we're like, "What is a Prairie Fire?" And then we all drank one of them. We're all like, "Ah!" And then we're all like, "I don't want the other 4." He's like, "Perfect." And he just took them all and just drank them all night long. It was a brilliant.
Just sipping them?
Yeah, I guess so.
That is an insane
so-
move.
I'm
Yeah.
so cheap that like I've had shots a million times, like been at a bar with somebody like, shot, yeah. And I just realized I'd never bought any. I'd never bought a shots for people. Like, and then the last time I went out, I was like, you know what? It's my turn. Like I've had years of people buying me shots. But then I was shocked, like the sticker shot. I was like, what, $89 for all like, and it was 2 cents. And nobody's like, who bought that? They're just like, yeah, here, yeah, done. Didn't even toast it to anybody. They're just like, yep, done. And then $89. And then I did make a point of letting everybody know that I bought it.
How did you
Because
make
you would
that
have
point?
preferred them to go like
Just
to
explicitly.
Sean.
I just
Yeah.
explicitly told them that I bought it.
How many people were there that you had to buy?
Like
$89?
11. There was like 11 people.
Aren't shots usually cheap? Aren't they like $4 or $5 usually?
No.
No, not anymore.
What?
They're
That's
like,
the olden days. That's the olden days. Back when our Cpaps were made of wood.
Had to whittle my CPAP.
Whittled my mask down.
The CPAP would have an ashtray in the corner of it.
Yeah.
My CPAP burned down the other night.
I gotta fill the reservoir with ash and water.
All right. Question number 4. What's either the angriest you've ever seen someone on the golf course, or how do you stop from losing it on the golf course?
I think the angriest I ever saw somebody, that'd be probably my dad. And I know it's usually at the people he's playing with. So like if they shoot out a turn, that was a big, like if he was 15 yards back and they were playing out of the sand, he'd be like, yeah, like he wouldn't stop them. He would let them shoot and go, yeah, that's fucking go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. That's fine. Go ahead and shoot whenever the fuck you want. And then that would set him up for when his shot went awry, he could be like, yeah, no, everybody shoot from everywhere. Like he'd make it seem like fucking, how am I supposed to make a good shot when a guy just shot out a
the whole
turn?
game's gone to shit
Yeah.
because of that one guy.
Yeah.
No
and that
offense,
was
but your
very-
dad kind of sounds like a dick.
Well, I was going to say he didn't set you up for success on the golf course, I don't think.
No, and then I always had to be like the mediator and go to his friends like, and they were like, yeah, don't worry about it.
Which is always a fun role to play as a kid. Always. It's
Yeah.
great
You're
role to
the
play.
guy who has to be like, relax, like, no, he's dad, relax, take it easy. And then they're like, but they were chippy too, because chippy people end up being friends with other chippy people because they, nobody else will hang out with them. So I'd just be like 3 chippy British dudes and me, like a sad, scared, milk loving child.
Well, I
Give
guess
me a virgin paralyzer, please.
I wore a shirt that
Yes,
said
well.
future CPAP owner.
Gina, do you and your friends, when you play, do you like attack each other?
No, not at all. They're like
No?
very supportive. We might make fun of each other, like a little bit, but not in a way that cuts deep, I would say. Like
No,
it's not like that really mean humor.
no. And that's that's the way it should be. Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe there's ball, but I just I don't like it. I don't like that. So I don't even like roasts. I don't watch roasts.
Not me
I
either.
don't like, I've been asked to be in a few roasts and I'm like, no, I don't need to be like a dais target where somebody's just gonna like be like, you're ugly. Like, what? And then you gotta laugh, otherwise you're an asshole. Like, I am ugly.
I know everything that's wrong with me. I don't need other people telling me.
Yeah.
Well, Sean, you've worked on you work a lot on your like the physical part of the golf game. Have you ever tried to work on the mental part?
What is that? There's nothing there. That's nothing. That's that's like the 90% air thing, where it's like, 90% your mental game's 90% of golf, but it's also a tree that's mostly air that you can hit it through. So like even if I worked on my mental game, it would still be Swiss cheese. You could still get through it really easy and turn me into a crying baby.
So the answer is no.
The answer is no. There's no what mental game? That's ridiculous. You either hit the shot or you don't, right? Like, there's people with, like, if you are doing the right, like, you could have the greatest mental game ever, but if you're like, oh, at the top of my backswing, my club face is pointed at the sky, what does that do? Nothing. No, I don't know. Are you guys big in the mental game? Like, do you go to therapy for this?
Sean, I'll tell you, I win the mental game every time because I don't walk into the lake ever. Because I'm like, you know what? I should just walk right into this lake and never come. You just gone right under the sprinkler. Get myself under the sprinkler. Good.
Yeah.
But every time I'm dry.
Something we learned about Monty doing this is he really looks at lakes and ponds as a place to just
Feels a
enter.
real draw, draw.
Yeah, and we worry about him.
Yeah.
Like, we've really romanticized like water death and like pill death. It was like, he took a bottle of pills and or he went into the lake and was never seen again. It's like, drowning sucks, right? Like, eventually your lungs have to fill with water and you struggle and
Have we romanticized that, like, on this podcast or just in general? Because I remember romanticizing it.
You guys in your first 14 episodes, I feel like, are really pro suicide.
We asked somebody, was like, is our golf podcast too much suicide, you think? Or
Yeah. Besides buying Monty clothes, like appropriate golf clothes, we're also going to start tethering him to the golf cart so he doesn't walk into lakes.
Oh, don't even worry, boys. If I get in that lake, then I turn on the CPAP. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, if you do walk in a lake, you better be wearing the clothes that we didn't buy you.
Goddamn right.
Yeah.
I want those basketball shorts and the Ottawa red black shirt.
Yeah. No, I mean, I guess my golf game could be considered a form of self-harm for sure. Sort of like a tee box cutter.
Sean, would you ever wear a bucket hat playing golf?
Yeah, good question. Great question.
Yeah, like if it was like I guess so. Would you
Like,
wear
not held at gunpoint? Like, would you like choose to wear a bucket hat?
No. If it was like,
God damn it.
if it was like if it was like, hey, it's a bachelor party, he's wearing a funny hat,
God damn it.
I would do it then. But are you guys bucket hat? What is a bucket hat anyway? That's like
what I'm
Well,
wearing
Nick's
right
wearing
now.
it right now.
Wait, show him without the. Yeah, see that? See how
that's the problem, because I have too big of a head. So I'd be like you, where it's like, hey, he'd look fun if that was a large instead of a medium. That's the kind of guy.
Good point. I have a really small head, and I find most baseball caps like come down over my eyes, and I can't see properly, and I get like all claustrophobic feeling playing in a baseball cap. So I think the bucket hat has freed me up.
Because it probably like fits perfectly. So you're like,
fits absolutely
like, that
perfectly.
looks great,
It's
like,
a
but it has to
custom
be.
fit
Yeah.
bucket hat.
But I feel like the bucket hat, if you're claustrophobic from a baseball hat, it's
I know.
completely around.
It's
Don't you
not
feel-
logical. I know, but it's short enough. The rim,
Mhm.
see on Nick, like the rim is short enough and much shorter than a baseball cap. Like baseball cap will go to here. Bucket hat is like closer to the forehead all the way around. So it actually doesn't block your vision at all, I find.
Well, it's functional because that baseball hat's been having its way with you, Gina. And you're like, listen, I don't want the horse blinders on again. I can't take the tunnel. It's
Yeah. I don't want
having
to wear a cave the whole day.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair.
Some people can get away with it. You need a small head, you know, to get away with. Fancy hats require a small to medium head. Once you get into like extra large heads like this, it's just, you know, there's very little that can be done. It's like stage 4, you know, like, why do I keep talking about death? I can't, like, this is it. I have to wear like a fat head pro fit. I can't wear a bucket hat. It would just look so stupid.
When you were doing the life insurance thing, did you just keep talking about like you're gonna die like this?
Yeah, talked about my golf game and what I was gonna write on my memorial bench, and they were like, "You already have your memorial bench," you know, and then that really threw them off.
And the final question, your favorite golf moment. This could be either something you experienced or something you saw on TV.
I guess, like, I don't know. I guess I always go back to I liked the when okay, I think it was it Cabrera that won the Masters smoking a cigarette every hole. Like,
Yep.
I just love that. I love whenever somebody's doing something, because I like smoking and stuff. So just
whenever someone's contributing to their own death.
Yeah, and also and excelling, right? So it's like, because most people would see like a fat Spaniard smoking a cigarette and be like, "Kid, you don't want to end up like that," you know. And then you're trying to use him as an example, and then he blasts it 320 and hits a perfect fade around the corner, and then puts it in the right spot and makes the birdie putt. And you're like, that fat cigarette smoker is kicking ass. Like,
it's such a fine mental balance. Like, you want to care, but you don't want to care too much. So sometimes, like, for me, like having a beer and like acting like it's all real casual, like just it plays a trick on me that I can like, then I don't get so mad when I totally fuck it up. But then you want to stay like challenging yourself enough that you actually play well and like work on something every once in a while. So it's this weird, but I agree with you. Like, I mean, I don't smoke, but if I had like a cigarette in my mouth, I bet I would play better.
I'm sure it calmed him down. Yeah, like, I mean, that's the crazy thing about my golf game is I'm usually on one 20 milligram gummy, 10 milligram gummy, and smoked a joint after the range, and then I'm mad that I can't, like, that my touch seems to be gone. like another brutal chip. Like, yeah, no kidding, you are fried. Like,
I love it. You shouldn't even be able to feel your hands at all.
No, and I can't. You know, I don't know if you guys do that. Like, I don't know if I could play just like, hey, let's have an iced tea and play. I don't know if I could do that.
Too many saucers.
No, I like to get a little bit, maybe just a little gummy if I'm playing with, you know, stiffs. But I don't think I've played not high since I was 16. So, and I'm 44. So it's a good run.
Yeah.
I've never played high.
You should. Because when you start playing well when you're high, you're just like, look at that ball go. You know, it's a fun dream sequence. It feels good. When you play bad, you stop being high.
All right, I'll report back.
Try it. Report back on episode 16.
There's a lot of pressure to get this done immediately.
Tonight.
Yeah.
This was great, man. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. It was pretty fun.
Oh, buddy, yeah, good time.
Definitely all the time, but
I didn't think anybody would come out and say their favorite golf moment was someone smoking a cigarette, but
I just loved the fact that, like, CBS was like trying to cut away from it, but he was smoking so much and he was the leader. Like, so it's like he's leading the golf tournament, so the camera's got to be on him to a certain extent. And he was just like, you know, at Augusta National on the fairway of 16 with a De Maurier regular in his hand. Like, it was just and he won, you know. It's good to have hero.
A chain smoking overweight Hispanic just going like, this is the best. This is my hero right here.
Yeah. And then he quit, like, right after that tournament. He was like, he saw himself on TV and he was like, I'm that's disgusting, and he quit.
I swear to God, I thought you meant golf.
Yeah.
No, he went for the golf patch. He quit smoking. right after that. And you don't see him much anymore, Cabrera, do you?
No.
It's probably, you know, you quit smoking, it turns its back on you too.
Yeah.
And, you know, there you are.
He needed it to play elite golf.
Yeah, he lost his juice.
It was probably calming for him, and that's probably why he did it, right? So once you take that away, it must be difficult. That's your crutch for all those years.
Yeah, that's your mental game.
Yeah. What's your mental game?
Your mental
I
game.
smoke.
Like, yeah, so I do some shallow breathing exercises because that's all I can get in my lungs.
I like cheering on the self-destruction. I golfed in 86 one time, and it was because I was chewing tobacco. Never did it before or since. But tell you what, I think it took me over the top.
Yeah, I'm not even kidding about the oxycodone. Like I took 10 milligrams of it and played the best rounds I've played like 3 days in a row. And I was like, how? And then I ran out of drugs, and then I went back to shooting garbage. And I was like, what was happening those 3 magic days? I literally think it was just, it slowed my swing down. Like I thought I was going fast, but I wasn't. Like I was just like slowly moving through the ball. I think it helped a little bit. But
that's wild. Yeah. Well, everyone agrees it seems to help things.
When I was I had like this tooth infection like years ago. It was really gross, but they gave me all the drugs like so quickly. They were just like, oh, your tooth hurts? Here you go. It's like Oxy, Percocet, Tylenol 3. And so I took Percocet. Then I had this audition because I'm an actor, and I memorized the script. It was like a 4-page script. I memorized it in 1 minute. Like I literally just read it over, and I was like, I got it. And then I went in, I got the role because I was freaking amazed. I was so much better than I would normally be.
So focused.
And it scared the hell out of me because I was like, well, I'm either going to do that now for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I got to take Percocet.
Or I need to never do it again.
You're going to see Gina walking down the 18th at Augusta just popping Percocets.
Yeah. And then you get the role and you're like, oh my God, now I have to find an online deal. I got to get a bottle of this shit. Because it just removes all the anxiety where you're like the normal anxiety that would come with auditioning. You probably had none. You're probably just like, I don't have any anxiety. This is a good day.
It was like confidence, just total confidence.
Yeah.
So kids do all the drugs and smoke. And
I'd like to say I've never done any drugs. So
really,
not even a joint, not even smoked a joint.
Wow.
No,
terrible alcoholic though.
Yeah. Well, eventually your body will like reject alcohol and you'll switch to drugs and give yourself credit for that change.
Self-credit. Way to go, Daryl. Good job.
You know, I just decided, and then you'll be. I know if you guys like that, and me included, where it's all of a sudden your body hurts too much from booze, so you switch to marijuana, and then you pretend that you made the change yourself instead of your body.
What part of your body hurts from alcohol?
All of it. Doesn't your body always hurt? Like your liver? Don't you get? I think for me it was I would start to get sick instead of like getting to that really fun drunk place. I would become nauseous. Like I would be fun. I would have a fun buzz going. And then once I had my 7th cocktail, I was nauseous. So
yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. That's what happened to me.
That's how I stopped really smoking weed, because every time I smoked, I was like, I wish I didn't do this. And before long, you're like, just maybe I shouldn't do it.
Yeah, maybe don't do it. Yeah. I have that too, but then I'm just like, I took too much. I don't blame the drug. I blame myself.
It's how you took it.
Yeah,
that's right.
I took it wrong.
Yeah,
I did it wrong.
Well, that's cool. Well, thanks for having me on the podcast. It was
thanks
fun.
for coming on.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for being on, bro.